The Texas Rangers looked like they had pulled off one of the greatest rebuilds in MLB history, and they did it in just one offseason. In 2022, the Rangers were one of baseball's worst teams, finishing 68 and 94. But just 1 year later, that same Rangers team, boosted by a few massive offseason signings, went on to win the World Series for the first time in franchise history. It felt like the start of something special, a new era of Texas Rangers baseball, but that is not what happened. Just 2 years later, this very similar Rangers roster looks completely lost. Their offense has fallen off of a cliff, and despite elite pitching, they're quickly earning the title of baseball's most confusing and disappointing team. So, the Texas Rangers, 32 and 35, not where they wanted to be roughly halfway through June of the 2025 season, especially considering this is a team that walking into the season had the 6th highest payroll in all of baseball, $222 million. That squad right there, if you got the 6th highest payroll, you should be a playoff team. And honestly, the goal should be winning another World Series. So, what the heck is going on? Well, looking over at Texas right now, their pitching staff, honestly one of the best in all of baseball. 3rd in terms of team ERA at 3.12. That's phenomenal. And, you know, we know that pitching should win you championships, and that's actually something that they didn't really have when they won their 2023 ring. Was the pitching wasn't great. That team was carried by the offense. But just 2 years later, this team in 2025, it is the complete and utter opposite, folks. Their offense is abysmally bad. They are currently ranked 29th in all of baseball in terms of OPS, and actually that number just changed because yesterday on June 10th, they were ranked 30th. However, they did just put on a complete shellacking of the Minnesota Twins, 16-4. So those 16 runs right now are boosting that OPS up to the 29th spot. Maybe it's signs of things to come, but honestly, like when you look at their roster, when you look at the guys that are doing it, well, for one, it's confusing as all holy hell because the names there are names that typically do perform at a high level, but two, there's just really nothing to hang your hat on. Looking over at that lineup for the Texas Rangers, man, like, where are the elite hitters here? You know, where is that 2023 roster? Not a single person on this Texas Rangers roster here has an OPS that is over 800. In fact, most of them have OPSs in the 600 range, and most of them are batting in the low 200s. And we're talking about people that are supposed to be good, right? Corey Seager. Now, I understand. I actually have him on my fantasy baseball team. I get that he has been on and off the injured list to start this year, which has always been a problem for him in its own right. But right now, he is not performing at a super high level, batting .248 with an OPS of 722. You just can't have that from one of your highest paid players. Similarly speaking, Marcus Semien, man, father time is catching up right now, batting .218 with an OPS of 619. And this is somebody, by the way, folks, that is on Texas for years to come, getting paid $26 million this year, then in 2026, then in 2027, and then again in 2028. Well, his number goes down to 20 million by that point, but still, we are talking about somebody that is on the books for years, and the last 2 seasons have not been good for him, right? And he's not the only one, because you're looking at some other names here. Josh Young. What's happening, dude? Like, you were a guy for Texas. Similarly speaking, Jonah Heim, and even more so, Adolis Garcia. These are players that when we look back at that 2023 run, they contributed, right? Adolis Garcia, 39 home runs for that guy. These are the 2023 numbers, okay? 836 OPS, 39 bombs, over 100 RBIs. Similarly speaking to Marcus Semien, who had 100 ribbies, 29 bombs, but an OPS of 826. I mean, Corey Seager was an MVP candidate that year. He didn't win because he was injured for, 40-odd games, but still, When you bat .327 and have an OPS over 1, you are a major contributor. And looking at some of the other secondary members here, Josh Young was great. Jonah Heim was great. I know Nathaniel Lowe's not on the team anymore, but when he was good. They were getting all of these contributions from players that they didn't necessarily expect. And now, in 2025, it's the complete opposite. They're expecting things from these guys, and they just aren't getting them. So the question is, what is the problem? This was an article, now it was written a month ago, so some of the stats have changed, but it's actually from Sports Illustrated, just focusing on the Texas Rangers, talking about their poor approach at the plate leading to disastrous results. They go on to say that this has been the most disappointing offense in baseball this year. I would tend to agree with them because a lot of people were looking at this offense coming in to 2025 and thinking to themselves, this is a key team that's going to bounce back. They were hungover from the World Series last year. This is an offense 1 through 9 that is going to bang, and obviously that has not been the case. The big reason why is that they are chasing like crazy. At the time of them writing this article, which like I said was 1 month ago, they were chasing 34% of the time as a team, which was the worst in baseball. These days, those numbers have gone down a little bit, but it is still really bad, folks. They are currently second worst in all of baseball when it comes to chase percentage, just ahead of the Colorado Rockies. And that is not where you want to be, man. You do not want to be ahead of Colorado because they are arguably one of the worst teams that we have ever seen, ever. And Texas, offensively speaking, is performing pretty similar to them. They just are swinging at the wrong stuff. Looking over at this lineup, at this roster, you can't field a baseball team when this is the lineup here, okay? Your 3-hitter, Corey Seager, I know he's Corey Seager, I know he's supposed to be good, but your 3-hitter has an OPS of 722, and your cleanup guy, Marcus Semien, who's, bat speed is slow as all holy hell, is got an OPS of 620. This is just not a winning formula, even when you have a pitching rotation that is this damn good. And I think that's the most frustrating thing about this Texas Ranger squad, is that you know that they can be good, especially with this rotation. Jacob deGrom, one of the better pitchers in the last decade, is showing us how good he can be when he is on the field at 37 years old. Renaissance season for the guy, 2.12 ERA. If Derek Skubal and Garrett Crochet weren't a thing, this guy would be in the Cy Young conversations seriously. Tyler Mahle looking like a steal right now for these Texas Rangers. He's got a 2.34 ERA. Jake Leiter, and even, this is crazy to me, Patrick Corbin, brought back from the dead. This guy was cooked. He was finished. We were thinking he was going to be out of MLB. He's got a 3.5 ERA right now with Texas. So honestly, tip of the cap, and just like generally incredible job done from the pitching coaches over there, from the pitching staff. They have done such a good job with their starters and with that bullpen. But the hitting coach, man, we got to do something. Seriously, we got to do something, because this is a team with the names that you have that can be good. Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, Josh Young, Jake Berger. These are all guys that individually I can get behind. But right now, as a unit, it's just not happening for Texas. They have to be making better plate discipline. They got to have way more plate discipline, better decisions, better swing decisions, and just overall be doing more damage, which they are not doing. Ultimately, this has their playoff odds kind of dropping like a stone, folks. They are now down to a 23% chance to make the playoffs. They started off the year at a 56.4% chance, so they've cut their playoff chances in half. Now, the good news for Texas fans is that when you look at that schedule, they dropped 16 on the Twins. They dropped 5 on the Nationals, a few days ago. Is this the beginning of some type of offensive resurgence? You gotta hope so, right? Like, again, I'm not completely out on this Rangers team because I trust in the name value, but something has to change. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.